Okay, today we have special guest Sarah Jezebel Deva, the person I love so much that I made a decision to make an interview with Sarah straight after 70,000 ton of metal. Hello, Sarah, how are you doing?
Hi. Hi, how are you? I'm fine. I'm just pressing something on my screen. There you go. No, I'm really, 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 really good. Yeah, I'm happy.
So the way you said hi, I was thinking that you was about to start singing, but
No, I was looking at something on my screen. I'm like, I need to remove that just as you hit the record button. But
okay,
yeah, I'm very good, thank you.
that's nice. It's nice to see you again because last time I saw you in Eindhoven and I've been missing all this time. All of you. And so, just Sarah, so I want to know what has happened, what has changed, what is your, I don't know, expectations, everything what happened since Eindhoven up to now. How did it change you?
Oh God.
Yeah, how has it
Yeah.
changed you? If
So
you feel, just give us your vibe.
Eindhoven was obviously the beginning of the new Covenant journey. Um, and I've said this to a few people. When we all agreed to, get back together, um, in my head, it was this amazing fantasy to do this again. But as the words came out of my mouth, yes, let's do it. Yeah, I'm up for it. Then I started to kind of think, oh, I want to do it, but I don't know if I can physically do it, like get back on a stage again. And then suddenly we have a booking agent, we have crew, we're all talking, and I'm like, okay. So I get these messages from Steiner. Well, I need to book your flight for rehearsals. We need to get that done. And I'm like, oh, I'm panicking. Do I really want to do this in my head? I do. I'm closing my eyes, I'm dreaming about it. And then suddenly the deadline, you need to book your flight. And oh my God, I've got to book a flight. I'm actually doing this. And I turn up in Oslo and I see people for the first time, people that I've not seen in so long. And we do rehearsals and I'm like, oh my God, this is real now. This is actually happening. And we're rehearsing together and the energy and the vibe with all of us is amazing. It's everything that I think bands should be. Everything that I wished it was in 2010, even though Jamie wasn't with us, or Canute actually. Um, so we're rehearsing and I'm excited and I'm like, and then I'm still a little bit scared. I go home and I'm wanting more and I'm thinking, yeah, I want to do this show, but I'm still scared. Okay. And now the guys already know this, and a lot of people already know this, but I'm still scared. So I turn up in Eindhoven and I'm happy. I'm raring to go. The relationships between us are amazing. I laugh so much. You know, I haven't laughed like that in a really, really long time. I I've always thought I want music, but I don't need it. I
No.
was happy at home. I was happy at home. I was happy with my life. And Eindhoven woke me up a little bit. I met new people. I met some old friends, people that I haven't seen in a long time. As you know, I'm part of a project with the lead singer of Dark Funeral.
Heljarmadr, yeah.
Yeah, so I met him for the first time because we're always just talking on WhatsApp or whatever. Um, I met my friend Dan, who plays bass in
Yeah, Dan is lovely
yeah,
person.
yeah. You can pronounce the band name. I'm absolutely
Analmatra.
rubbish. Thank you. Because I say anal Nakarath, which is really bad. But he's one of my closest friends. We've known each other since I attempted to go solo. There were so many people that I connected with and that I got on well with, and the relationships within the band also got tighter. So I go on stage and I love it. I love it more than I ever thought I would. Um, and I was really happy with everything that happened on stage. But then I get these comments from mostly Nagash, but also from Heljarmadr, Canute, all of them. You need to be at the front of the stage. And I'm like, no, no, I do not need to be at the front of the stage. No, no, you really do. You can't just be hanging around back there. I'm happy to hang around back there. In fact, if you'd like to move my microphone stand to the toilet area, I'm happy to sing in the toilet.
Yes, like you can
So
pick with cigarettes whenever you share.
yeah, well. So I'm happy to sing in the toilet. I get feedback from so many people about that show. So then I'm thinking, this line that I use, I'm just a backing singer. Well, that's gone. Okay, I've said it so much, and it's how I felt, but it's always how I've been made to feel. So anyway, just going forward a little bit. So
Mhm.
we come home from Eindhoven Metal Fest, and it was an amazing experience. And I have to admit, and a lot of people feel this. I've been told that it's very, very normal. I had this major down period. Uh, Eindhoven woke me up. It ignited something in me that I didn't want to have ignited. I didn't, but I felt like I realized I was missing something that I just didn't realize I was missing. I know it's so hard. So we do 70,000 tons of metal and turn up, and I'm actually happy to fly. I'm never happy to fly. I was happy to get on that flight, and I just could not wait to get there and to see everyone. Um, so the show, prior to the show, I thought I'm listening to the feedback from everybody, but I need to go to the front of the stage. So I sat down and I'm like, right, I'm closing my eyes. And in my head, I see myself going to the stage. I picked two songs
Huh?
and I thought, right, I'm in those songs quite a lot. I will go to the front of the stage. However, prior to all of that, I get a knock on my door. Seaman Vortex is outside my door. He can hear me warming up before the first show, banging on my door. Sarah, open the door. And I'm like, what? What's going on? I opened up my door. He walked straight through. I didn't really have a say, bless him. He walked straight through. He threw himself on my bed and he went, sing to me. Now, you ask me to sing to you face to face on the spot. That's not cool. My body goes into shock. Everything goes into shock. And I'm kind of like, is it time to fake my own death right now? Or is he going to make me sing even if I'm trying to die on the floor? But he's like, sing to me. And I'm like, why?
I
He
understand
said,
what he was thinking about.
I know exactly what he was doing, right? He's like, if you can sing to me, you can sing to everybody. He said, I know how scared you are, and I understand that, but you need to sing to me. And I am not leaving your room until you sung to me. And it was like, oh my God, I'm not getting out of this. And he's not the kind of guy to be told what to do. And I could see he's not the kind of guy to be getting off my bed until I've done what he's asked me to do with my vocals. So I sung to him. I was warming up in front of him. And at the end of that session, it was about half hour. I was like, wow, what just happened? So he left my room and he said, you're going to be fine. He said, you're going to be fine. And I don't like compliments. I shy away from the compliments. But he was like, you are the original diva. You're the one that started this. You're just the comments, the compliments. And then as I'm going through my day, you know, I'm getting so many people, like these iconic people. Sadly, I will name drop a little bit, but only mention it once. I'd had conversations with Hugh, the bass player of Arcturus, with Helhammer, with obviously Nagash, with Matthias of Fintroll, with Trim of Emperor. I'd had these big conversations, and Trim actually changed my way of thinking as well. The words that he used, the way he explained everything, of how he saw me when I was singing. It was like this big ball of, if I may use this term, a big ball of wake the fuck up, shut up, get out there and be everything that you wanted to be years ago and you were never allowed to be. And that's the only way that I can put it. So I went to the stage for two songs, and my hand was shaking a lot, but I think I did okay. The comments that I got after the show were things that I just, wow, it was screwed with my head and made me feel so empowered. And I'll explain all this because a lot of people might be listening and going, "I'll just get on with it. It's your job." It's not like that. And it's never been like that. It's the appreciation and everything that's going on in this band and people that are connected to the band, even the crew. It's never been like this. And I've always dreamed of it being like this. So the second show, I'm virtually at the front of the stage for the whole show. Something I never thought I would do, never thought I would be comfortable doing. It was a very difficult show for me, but I'm not going to be negative because it was very windy, very, very windy. It was incredibly windy. So you're trying to sing and all this ocean air is flying down the back of your throat. It wasn't easy, but also I found out after the show that my microphone was switched on at the front of house, but I had no vocal feed going into my in-ears. So I did the whole show not being able to hear myself. And I think I did all right. I think I did one little screw up. I didn't hit one note. It was just but it was difficult. It was a difficult show. But no, it wasn't. It was
I can't. It seems to me.
It was just one little note that apparently was covered up really well out front of house. But I managed to do the show without hearing myself. I could hear some vocals coming out of the front of house, you know, like bounce back. And yeah, I was at the front of the stage for nearly the whole show. And you know what? I absolutely loved it. I loved every second, regardless of the not being able to hear myself. I loved every second of it. And it's because, and I have to give all of them credit, but I have to give Nagash the credit because I've never had a lead singer push me in the right direction. I've never had a lead singer that hasn't seen me as a threat or go up against me, push me in the back to keep me at the back so they could shine. I've never been in a band where everyone's equal. We all have a say and we communicate. Now, we're not always going to get on. We know this, you know, we're very strong personalities. We are older and our voice is louder than ever. But I've literally never been in a band where someone has even asked my opinion properly. And it's alien to me, but now is the time, 70,000 tons of metal was the time to push all that bad stuff and bury it, because this is a new beginning. And no matter how long it lasts, this is everything I always wanted my career to be. I don't want to be lead, But whatever happens in the future with new material, I know that Stian is encouraging me. We did interviews. That's my first time where I've had a say offered, and it's someone said, yeah, do it, let's all do it together. There's no ego, there's no I'm better than you crap. We did I think we did 8 interviews. And
you mean on board?
Yeah, on the boat we did 8 interviews, I think it was. And Stian actually turned around to me at one point. He said, talk about what you've done. And I'm like, he's like, don't be afraid, talk more. And I talked, and I do let him do most of the talking. It is best to do that, but I do follow. And I was talking, but I've never been able to take part in interviews. I've never had a say. And to have him sit there and praise me the way that he praised me in front of all these press people, it was overwhelming. I didn't cry, but it touched me because I've never had that. And so Jamie sat back and he went, how long are you going to do this for? Shut up, do it. It's your job and you're amazing. There was no nastiness. He was like, this is what you're here for. This is what you've always wanted to do. Do it. And just the encouragement that it's just changed the way I see things. And I do wish that everything we have now, I'd had that treatment in the past. And now is the time, I understand, not to dwell on the past, not to compare the past to the future, and just be me. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a little bit afraid. I'm going through a change at the moment. Like, I'm losing weight, I'm improving myself. I don't conform to anything or anyone, and I never have done. Hence the reason I've always been the size that I have. And some people think it's massive. It's not massive. I'm just not a size 2 or 0. I don't cake myself in loads of Photoshop unless it's necessary. But my biggest problem is I've always worn clothes that are way too big, which has always made me look bigger than I am. And now's the time to go, well, do you know what? I'm going to do everything to make me happy. And that's it. It's about me. It's about us as a band now. Everything's changed. Everything's changed. And I never thought I'd even sit here on camera and actually not mind it. I hate camera interviews. I hate it. But, if I don't give it my all, I'm not only holding myself back, I'll hold the band back, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah, you have to break the boundaries, and that's for sure. And as you say, like you got such a huge support from Stian, from Nagash. Yeah, so just let's call him Nagash so people understand who we're talking about, and that he encouraged you so much. Yeah, of course, because he's not going to push you back, because as you said, you've never been treated before like this, right? In good way. Because before, like 10, 15 years ago, when you were younger, yeah, so I'm the same age as you.
I'm still young, I'm still 21.
Yeah, that's what Jamie told me like 2 days ago when we were talking about something I don't remember what about, but he said, I'm 21. I said, yeah, okay, you're fucking 21. And so I'm 18 then. And that's what I want to say. Now you grew up, right? And there is no point to prove that I'm the leader of the band. Like, so that's why Nagash is not doing it anymore. So Kovenant is the name which was built by you, Jamie, Heljarmadr, Nagash, and everyone know what he's done. Everyone knows his place, and there is no point like, so just you.
No. Then we can't work together. Yeah, when there's that kind of bad ego, obviously everyone has an ego, You know, why
Yeah,
can't we
yeah.
have an ego? But it's the bad side of the ego. And I think we connect now more than we ever have done. And we talk, and it'll only get better, you know. But the thing for me, the real important thing for me is the connection that I've got with the other singer. I can't, you know, without, okay, you have to sometimes delve back into the past. Sorry.
Mhm.
When it was another band, we were completely opposite ends of the final goal. You know,
I understand what you mean.
it was the ego was so incredibly high. There was no working together. There was no teamwork. It was all for one and one for all. And the communicate, just everything, it just wasn't right. And it could have been so much bigger and so much better. You can paint over the cracks, but the cracks will always remain. You know, and I think back to I remember one compliment I got from a lead singer of a band that I was in. And he sat down with me one day and he went, "You're very beautiful." That's lovely, thank you. That's the only compliment I'd ever had from that person. I don't care if you think I'm beautiful. Let's work together as a team and make the future albums absolutely amazing. Let's let everybody shine, not just one person. You take Nexus Polaris, the first time we all get together like that, everybody shines on that album. No one is louder in the mix or anything like that. It is all so professionally well done. It's, you know, but so if you take lead singer that I'm working with now, and I hope for many, many years to come, there's a connection. We've had conversations, and we're not always going to agree on everything. He's extremely intelligent.
What are you talking
There's a
about
lot
now?
of things. Yeah, no, gosh.
Ah,
We come together on many things. Many things we've had conversations. Don't get me wrong, not like major conversations. You know, I'm not going to play it out to something it's not. We are closer than we ever have been. Just like me and Steiner are closer than we ever have been. I don't even remember Steiner from the Covenant tour that we did with Benediction, Children of Buddha and Hypocrisy. I don't even remember him. But now there's that connection. I wish that I'd had that with other people. And then maybe things wouldn't have gone to shit the way that they had done. You know, loyalty is a big thing. And Cradle of Filth always took the piss out of me for that.
mm.
Oh, loyalty. But you know what? Loyalty really does make success. It's not just about money. It isn't just about money. It's about loyalty. It's about communication, mutual respect, and really giving a shit about people that you're working with, you know? So yeah, bit of a rant there, but everything that's going on now is everything I ever dreamed it to be. And it's here. And I'm
Bloody perfect.
grateful. I'm grateful, I'm honored, and those guys mean a lot to me. They really do. They really do.
That's really nice. It's really nice. And just would like to find out, just would like to ask you, how many projects are you being involved in right now?
Oh, well, I have Torn Between Two Worlds with Chris Wren.
Uh-huh.
As you know, Chris was in Abyssos, he was in Evergrey, and we got together in 2002 because I met him on the Therion Evergrey tour.
Mhm.
So we did Anctoria, God Has a Plan for Us All. I'd also like to point out that I've read that God Has a Plan for Us All and Anctoria was Christian. Absolutely not. Everything is that whole concept for me on that album was based on life experiences. if you pull up the lyrics to Do You See Me Now, hate the reflection that I see, wish I could claw away my skin, all of that is all based around experiences, how I've been treated, how other people have been treated. So after Anctoria, I can't really talk too much about that, but me and Chris still remain as close as ever. We did Torn Between Two Worlds, which is, in my eyes, a continuation of Anctoria, because Chris wrote nearly all the Anctoria music, probably 90% of it. I wrote all the lyrics, I came up with my melodies. So Torn Between Two Worlds for me is a continuation to Anctoria. I have the project with Andreas of Dark Funeral, which obviously you guys need to research, because there's a 2-track kind of EP thing out at the moment, which people can still buy. That has been extremely well received. I just done an Iron Maiden song with Mystic Circle, potentially going to do one more song. My brain. You're going to tell me there's something else. Oh, Lord Chaos. I was doing Lord Chaos as well to help Jamie. Oh my God, Lord Chaos. How did I forget that? Yeah, so I helped Jamie out on that. And then Covenant. Covenant
so 5
is
in total, yeah?
I think so, yeah. But you know, Covenant is for me the one, because of the shows that we've got booked and the way it's all being done. It's yeah. So 5.
So the Covenant is priority for now.
Yeah.
So that's perfect.
For forever. Forever.
So as a Covenant is a priority, and so now just you make your focus on Covenant. It's clear. But as far as I understand, you're also gonna work with other musicians like Heljarmadr from Dark Funeral, or Andres, his real name is, and so you're open for
collaborations.
Collaboration, yeah.
No, no, I don't have the time now. You know, I literally, you know, Jamie knows that he can call me if he needs to. I'm there. Andreas, I'm there. Mystic Circle will potentially just be one more thing. Torn Between Two Worlds is not doing anything at the moment because Chris is also in Takida, which is a Swedish rock band, and they're massive, and he's very, very busy. So, and I was actually supposed to be doing a song with Christian of Therion, who used to be in Therion, Christian Neiman. I couldn't fit it in. I just was so busy doing stuff, because obviously, as well as music, you're running everyday life as well. School runs, school clubs, all these things, and I do so much of it on my own, you know, that there's just no time. So, and I always get people saying, can you do this? Can you do this? And I have to be selective, and I have to say no. So the things that I've got now, that there wouldn't be anything else unless I physically have time for it. And if I spread myself too thin, I'm not going to be able to dedicate what I want to dedicate. And Covenant is my priority. And then this project with Andreas, that's a priority as well. But I can't do too much, you know?
If there is a club tour or something like that, so it's a question if you're gonna be on stage with the guys as well or not. I mean, Covenant, I mean, for example, Heljarmadr, because of course you have your private life. Just you have lots of things to do, as you said, if you're physically available. But if any club tour happens, you're in, right?
Yeah. With Covenant, that's a no-brainer. you know, that's going to happen no matter what, you know. Although it hadn't gone how we'd all planned, we are Covenant. I mean, even, you know, Nagash said to me, it's all or nothing, you know. There might be some things that Hellhammer can't do, or something that Jamie can't do, you know. But as it happens, it's all gonna hopefully run as smooth as possible. And obviously we're missing somebody, and that's crap. But we have Canute, and it's not. I don't. It's nothing to do with me. They have to do what's right for them as guitarists and musicians that side, because having Canute there, he's an amazing guy, but it doesn't affect me when I'm singing. How they bond together as musicians is paramount. It is extremely important because Canute's playing constantly, you know. So how they fit together, so they could get in a Teletubby, as long as it works, it's fantastic, you know. It doesn't affect me, but Canute's amazing. He's an amazing guy. It's sad.
Easygoing person.
Yeah, it's sad that Armin's not there, but I think we have to move past that now. Whatever the future holds, the future holds. You know, we just see where it goes. But for you know, yeah, tours, whatever. I mean, obviously, we have children, and some of us and jobs. So to do long tours, I think we've all basically said it can't happen, long tours. I'm guessing, you know, just my view, I think that maybe we're going to go down the possible Emperor route, you know, short hits, you know, like if we do South America, we've already got a show in South America, maybe another 4 or 5 shows surrounding, so we're out for 2 weeks. But everyone has jobs and young children, you know, so we have to be realistic. We have to be realistic.
Yeah, but you can run through the whole Europe for 2 or 3 weeks, so it's not a big.
Yeah. But people, you know, as I say, but when it comes down to your jobs at home, you know, you also have to prioritize there, and your children, you know. I mean, my child, the first time when I went to Norway to rehearse, he got upset quite a lot because we weren't used to being apart from each other. You know, he's not used to, I've never been away from him, you know, so he found it hard, and I had a few moments. Then when I went to Eindhoven, he had one moment where he was sad, but I said to him, if you do okay and you're good and you just try and be as brave as you can and hold those tears back, I will give you £15 a day. He sailed through it because he knew, you know, he knew that he was getting V-Bucks for fortnight, the little sod. Then when I did the 6, well, actually, I think I was out for, oh God, I was out for 7 or 8 days because I was at the airport. He did really well. He didn't get sad. He was happy.
Yeah, because that's 15 pounds.
Yeah, but I think we turned a corner. But he's going through those changes, you know. He's 10. His body's changing. He's turning into a, you know, an older child. The emotions, everything. At that age, we can't forget what it was like to be 9, 10, 11, going through puberty, you know. But he's doing all right, and I'm very, very proud of him. And it means that the pressure's off and I can do this now, you know. I can do it better. I can get on an aeroplane and be with the guys and do what we do and not worry so much about him. Because I'm sure all the guys will agree, our children, they are the priority, you know.
Yeah, totally agree.
You know.
Totally agree. And let me ask you about your music preferences, because as far as I know, just as far as everybody knows, You love Madonna. Yeah, okay. So she made a big influence, except of Madonna, there was some other people, right? Just some other musicians, singers, whatever. But I mean, what music do you prefer? For example, I love necrophagist, yeah, technical death metal. What kind of music, of course, what kind of music? We do understand that you love metal as well, but do you have some bands just like not from female vocal point of view, but like what metal bands you?
No, do you know, I had this conversation with somebody on the boat, and do you know what? It's going to piss a lot of people off. I am not influenced by any band that's on the scene with a female singer. And there's a few reasons, okay? So I'm not going to go deep into those reasons, but do you know what? I'm not going to sit here and lie either. I can't. So I basically brought up on 80s and 90s pop music, okay? No one wakes up at the age of 1 year old or 2 years old and go, right, that's it, I'm into Mysticum. That's it, I'm into Marduk. No, it doesn't happen. You find your way, okay? You find your way. But I was mostly into that type of music. And I was into rave and hardcore and all that kind of stuff. And then I met this girl, and she might even watch this. A girl called Sophie. Well, I should say I didn't meet her. We went to school together. We were in infants and juniors together. And I hadn't seen her for like, oh my God, 8 years. And I was in East Ham, because East Ham is where I lived. I was born in Forest Gate. I lived in, this is all East London. I lived in Silvertown for a while, but then I moved to East Ham, and that's where a lot of my roots were. And I was over the park one day with my friend, and she was there, and I hadn't seen her for years, and she was into heavy metal. And she said to me, and we got on really well, and we bonded again. And she said to me, if I go to a rave with you, she said, come to a metal club with me. And I'm like, no, not going to do it. Not into heavy metal. I'd listened to a little bit of heavy metal once, and I didn't like it. I turned it off. Bear in mind, I was young, okay? I was very young. She didn't end up coming to the rave with me. I ended up going to a place called the Brewery Tap, and it's in Barking. It doesn't exist anymore, but it had a big heavy metal night, And actually on the Saturday, there was the Ruskin Arms. And if you're into Iron Maiden, you'll know about the Ruskin Arms. Yeah.
And so I used to... What is it? Embarkment Station, yeah?
Ruskin Arms is
no, not Ruskin. Is that one which doesn't exist anymore?
Oh, they both don't, unfortunately. I think Ruskin Arms still might be standing, but it doesn't metal not. Yeah, but Barking, Barking. So it was right near where the Ruskin Arms was. They were just a few miles apart. So yeah, went to the Brewery Tap, and within minutes, I was headbanging. Literally, I remember Motley Crue clearly playing. I remember Alice in Chains clearly playing, Sisters of Mercy, all of that. I was headbanging. You couldn't get me off the dance floor, okay? And I do remember the next day how bad my neck was. I stayed over Sophie's. We were completely drunk, and we were having to crawl on our hands and knees to get from one room to the other because our necks were killing. Next day, we went to the Ruskin Arms. I don't know how I managed to headbang. It was killing, but I did it. And from that moment, I was absolutely hooked. Now, my spectrum of what I'm listening to, it is very, very varied. But I went more towards death metal, and I got into Deicide and Obituary, things like that very, very quickly. And then very quickly after that, I remember being in HMV in London, in Tottenham Court Road, and finding the Emperor Enslaved Split album, EP. and picked it up, and I picked up In the Night Side Eclipse, and I walked out, and I'd not heard them, but that was me. I don't know how old I was, 15, something like that. And from that moment, that's when my love for black metal, it took over my love for death metal. But I still love all forms. I'm not so much into classic rock, if I'm honest. So obviously everyone knows that, you know, I was in a punk band at the time. I was co-vocalist in a punk band. And then not long after that, I met Danny and Paul of Cradle of Filth. And I stood in front of them and I sung, they put on Sisters of Mercy, Temple of Love, and the one with Ofra Haza in it. Obviously, she's not with us anymore. Amazing singer, Eastern vocals, and she strongly, she influenced my vocals in such a way. Now, obviously, I've got this Madonna influence, early Madonna, not so much the new stuff, if I'm honest, but the new, you know, the old Madonna, Mariah Carey, 80s pop, 90s pop. I'm singing normally, and then I hit Ofra Haza. Now, when it comes to the high vocals, I was copying Mariah Carey. And it's really funny because I told Ishan this, which is really embarrassing. And it's not something that you go around telling people. But I said to him, I remember being in my front room and copying Mariah Carey, Vision of Love. I had the tight black dress on. My back was against the wall. I had a hairbrush in my fucking God. I had a hairbrush in my hand. And I was pretending to be Mariah Carey. I was young, okay, never going to do it again. And I was singing the high vocals, and I realised I could sing. So going back to Ofra Haza, I was singing in front of Danny and Paul, singing the vocals to Temple of Love. And then I then become part of Cradle of Filth. Back then, there was hardly any female. I mean, some people can correct me, of course, but when I started, that I know of, there were no female backing vocalists doing operatic. So I suppose I have to take the compliment, not just from Vortex, but from other people, that I am the original diva. There was no female operatic vocals in black metal. I don't know if there was any in death metal. There was nothing.
So you
from
black metal Madonna.
Whatever. But from that moment on, still in those days, there wasn't any bands doing this operatic thing. Now, if there was, I wasn't aware of it, and I'm sure 1,000 people could come forward and go, oh, this band did it, that band did it, but they weren't known, okay? So I continued with this operatic thing with my head in the sand. I was into, actually, Gian Perez, Cradle of Filth. He influenced me and got me into Dead Can Dance. Other than that, I was not into any bands with female singers in them doing this operatic thing or anything like that. Apart from, actually, I backtrack, Annika from The Gathering. She's a friend. I've not seen her for many years. Her voice was different. Her voice was completely different. She was doing stuff that other people weren't doing. So I suppose maybe you want to say we were unique in our style. Other than that, I can't tell you any other band. As the years went on, maybe Mariangela of Tristania, phenomenal voice, beautiful woman, phenomenal person. Other than that, no. In fact, I'm really good friends with Lindsay. I never listened to Lindsay when she was in Cradle of Filth. I purposely didn't listen to female singers because I didn't want to be compared. I didn't want to be accused of copying. And I didn't want their styles to influence my style. And that's the simple fact. That is the simple fact. I'm not into it. And now there's a lot of bands out there that are all doing the same thing. They're all copying each other. That's a bad word to say. they're all doing the same thing.
They're similar in one way, yeah.
Very similar. And I don't want to be put in that category. People say to me, "You started it." Okay, let's say I did.
You
I
had
want,
patented.
yeah, I want to remain true to my, that's a bad word as well. I just want to do what I do. And however it comes out, but it's me. I'm not influenced by anybody any female vocalist on the metal scene. And I never have been, and I never will be. I just open my mouth, and whatever comes out, if it fits that part or whatever, that's just me. And there's some phenomenal female vocalists out there doing the rough stuff, because back then there wasn't hardly anybody. Karen Crisis. I can't think of anybody else.
Angela Gossip.
You know? No, way back.
Oh.
Way back, you know. Phenomenal. Oh, Angela, phenomenal. There are some amazing vocalists, but you now have all these female vocalists in that side doing the same thing as well. And people could turn around and go, well, what you're doing is nothing new. They're all doing it now. But do you know what? If people want to say I started it, I started it. I should be proud of that, you know? And I'm still, although I'm not going to use this word, just a backing singer, I have to still say I am still the only operatic or whatever backing singer there is. And I'm with Kovenant, and that's great.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. I know what I mean. So,
so hopefully that makes sense, and that's not going to offend anybody. Because I have loads of people going, "Oh, are you a fan of this? Are you?" No, I'm not.
If you're not offend anybody, it's a fucking problem. Who is being?
It doesn't mean I don't appreciate it. Doesn't mean that I don't think they're amazing. You know, I just want to do me. I don't want to be like anybody else. Absolutely. Hence the reason I haven't lost the weight that people think I should lose. I'm me. If you don't like it, fuck it off. Yeah. I change under my terms, and that's it.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. So just name 5 bands you're listening to right now. Yeah. BBC channel. Yeah, BBC News.
Yeah. Peter Rabbit. No, not Peter Rabbit. Right, that I'm listening to. Oh God. This is really, really difficult. I can't. That's in the car. Falling in Reverse. Because that album, the latest album of Falling in Reverse, is the family album and is on repeat constantly, because it is a phenomenal album. Mysticum, because it's obviously going back a little bit. I can't answer that question right now. I really, really can't. I do apologise, because obviously with family life and everything and going to work. Oh, shit.
I'm listening 24/7 Nexus Polaris for the last 20 years.
Okay, all right. I was going to say Kovenant. Because obviously I'm rehearsing. I was listening to In Times Before the Light yesterday and the day before. So if we want to say what am I listening to, it's that. But right now I'm listening to a mixture of stuff. And because I'm in the gym a lot, it even needs to be very sort of fast. I mean, obviously in the Night Side Eclipse, I mean, you know, that's on daily rotation virtually. Moon Sorrow as well. But I'm listening to a lot of 80s and 90s pop music because I'm obviously in the gym. So, yeah, sorry. Arcturus, there we go. Listening to a lot of Arcturus lately as well, but it's all a lot of older stuff, you know, so sorry, I can't give you a proper answer because
it's okay. For example, I'm listening to, as I said, like Covenant, Nexus Polaris, Spiritual Black Dimensions, Carpet and Ebrum, that's for sure, and Necrophages. Yes, and the other one is like
I used to know one of the guys in that band.
In which one?
Necrophagist.
Mohammed.
The guy that I could be wrong because it's a long, long, long time. And bear in mind, I'm 47 and the memory is shit. Who's the guy that died?
You're talking about Necrophagia.
That's it. Close enough. Close enough.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I'm talking about Necrophages.
Yeah. No.
Metal
Right.
from,
Okay.
Germany.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Right. Yeah. I used to talk to the other band. I used to talk to him. He's the one that died. Yeah. But, you know, after a while, as you know, I kind of left the scene. I kind of kept it very low key. And when I did sort of come back a little bit, Hecate Enthroned, I totally forgot to mention Hecate Enthroned.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I said to a few people that I deleted so many people that were on my profiles in my phone book because I was trying to weigh up why I was friends with these people. Was it because their name and because it was an ego boost for me? Or was it because they're actually a friend and there's a mutual respect on both parts? And I deleted so many people because I didn't want anything to do with the scene anymore. So I forget so much, honestly. You've got to bear in mind, you know, I've been doing this since I was like 15 years old. And I'm going to be 48 this month. So, like, I forget little things. People come up to me and they remind me of stuff, and I'm like, ooh, oh. And yeah, it takes a lot to jog my memory.
Well. So very interesting. And so actually, there is a beginning of a new chapter.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're gonna see what's gonna happen in the nearest future, and I hope it's gonna be fucking killer.
Well, I'm about to buy a wireless microphone. Something I never thought I would do, ever. Because I've listened to everybody, all the love that I've had from the guys inside the band, outside the band, all the compliments, all the everything. It's definitely a new chapter because I'm about to spend out a stupid amount of money on a wireless mic so I can move around. I don't know what I'm doing.
I watched a short video from 70 Tones when Knut got his wireless follow from his strap. Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you remember this moment? Because
I didn't know what he was trying to say to me.
Yes, that's what I wanted to ask. It was so funny because he was trying to tell you that, fuck's sake, Sarah, help me. And you're like, yeah, it's fine, everything is fine. And it was so funny. Just
but you know,
how did you see it? How did you see
he was just smiling. I turned round and he's just smiling. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll smile back then and I'll sing to you. And then he said to me after the show, my pack was full. And I'm like, do you know what? You need to stop smiling because I thought you were just interacting with me. I thought you were going to get down on one knee and start playing the guitar and all of that. I didn't realize because I was in my element and I thought he was also in my element, but he was just smiling and struggling at the same time.
Yeah,
total mixed signals.
Yeah, it was really funny. He was trying to tell you, just Sarah, help me with this shit. And you, yeah, okay, just we'll have beer after. Yeah, something like that. Was really funny. All right, Sarah. So, just Sarah, you answered all my questions. We had a good conversation, right? I don't know what else to ask. So, if you have anything else to say, just
no. I'm thankful that you wanted to do the interview with me, and that's it. I'm really grateful and I'm really happy. And now I'm going to have a cup of tea.
Yeah, of course, with your British accent. Yeah. Yes. You know what I'm talking about when we're talking about accent.
Yeah. But no, I'm happy.
Yeah, happy.
For the first time in I've never been this happy with a band.
That's perfect.
So, you know,
That's perfect. So, and the Zoom says it like 10 minutes left, but anyway, just we finished our interview and it was really nice to talk to you. And so see you when I see you next time. I'll see you next time in Greece. And of
Oh, are
course,
you coming to Greece?
yes, of course, I'm coming to Greece. And I see
Cool.
you. Yeah, just okay, let me stop an interview. Hold on, record.